What's your favorite horror comic? Now, I say comic, not movie, not TV show, because I want something that you have to physically read, physically engage with. You know what I mean? Comics, I have it a little harder than other forms of media and really getting that horror across, because while I can give you the visual, I can't give you the aesthetic. You got to set up your own dark room. You got to put your own creepy music on if that's what you really want to be into, right? Comics got to really just try to get visceral with it. So growing up, I used to read things like, Frankenfran, Uzumaki. I had some horror tastes that were a little eclectic, even if you went into like the seinen and shonen kinds of mangas, they had some, oh, that's uncomfortable to look at. But at the end of the day, that's kind of where it ends at. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, that story was pretty messed up. But it doesn't give you that jump. It doesn't give you that, oh. And so I want to talk about the first webtoon I could ever remember reading, right? Now, this was the first webtoon for a lot of people, but I ain't a lot of people. I'm me. Let's talk about the BongCheon Dong Ghost. BongCheon Dong is an area of Seoul where it said like a lot of spooky, ooky stuff is happening, right? The art is by Horang. If you've heard of Horang, you should already know it's going to be some fire. But what I got to say about the BongCheon Dong Ghost is nothing that you haven't heard before if you've heard of it. It's amazing, right? It's a shame that we're so security focused nowadays, because it really doesn't give that impact that it did back in the day. See, back in the day, it would auto scroll your mouse, so it would get that jump scare effect. Plus, it had a little bit of sound. It was not playing creepy music, but it had a little bit of sound. That creaking of bones and such, bro. I'm talking about, it elevated it from an 8 to a 10 for me. I love that simple use of sound. Like, one of my favorite anime is Higurashi, and what I love about it is that something is messed up when all you hear is the cicadas, right? And the cicadas don't even gotta be doing nothing creepy with the music, anything. It's just cicadas. All you gotta do is hear the cicadas and you already know this ain't right, man. But back to the BongCheon Dong Ghost, right? Now, the story is of this little girl walking home. It's late. Trust me, kids get out late as hell in Korea, G. Like, so many hakwans and such. Kids just be out here studying. They get home about like 1 a.m. and then they got to wake up at 6 to go do the stuff again. It's terrible. But she over here studying, and she comes across this ghost. And this ghost look weird. I love the art style and I love the usage of the shading. Like, everything about the ghost already looks wrong, even within the universe of the comic, right? It looks like it shouldn't be there. Then when the little girl gets confronted by the ghost, that's where you get your first auto scroll. Did you hear that? Oh, it's just so good, right? That creak. And then she asks, where's my baby? So we already know things ain't finna be right. We get to the scream, we get to the jump scare part of it, and it's perfect to me. The sound effects really hit harder back in the day. Now, they give the backstory of the ghost, but they don't necessarily drive the needle into your heart. They don't make you like,
oh man, I can't believe how spooky this is.
It's just like a nice little story. It's sewn up on its own, and there's no, oh, then the ghost killed me, or then I was the ghost. It was very restrained. It's just like, hey, this was a freaky encounter. Might have been a hallucination. Here's the story of where she came from. Bada boom, we're out the room. So, I just wanted to share something on Halloween. That's one of my favorite horror stories. And leave a comment down below. What's your favorite horror story? Do you win? I'm done yapping. Deuces.